Now, moving on, the reason why we're aware of such things is because we have literature. We have literature which has been in different languages, which has been translated. As a result of the translation, we are able to understand what our religious book, the Quran, says, which is very important because it's our way of life. So that is the importance of translation for me. Now, today is actually International Translation Day, and we are observing the importance. Why are we observing it? What is the importance of translation in our day-to-day age? Because I know we have these discussions, especially with my producers, when we're talking about, beautiful Pakistani literature and Urdu poetry, and they're like, no, Maha, if you translate it, then it loses its beauty and its meaning. And I'm always like, yeah, but then people who don't speak that language will never understand the talent that we have spread across the world. So to discuss the importance of translation and why we should, we've been joined by Dr. Imam Haq Ghazi. He is the chairman of the Department of Translation and Interpretation. Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum, good
Thank
morning,
you so much
Maha.
for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
So actually, Dr. Ghazi, I'm going to start with you
Okay,
first. Because you were here last year, and we didn't cross paths last year when you were here to observe this day. Why should we be aware of this day? Because it seems, for some people, it's a bit random.
Yeah, before I say something, my name is Inamul Haq, not Imamul Haq.
Oh, sorry, Inamul Haq, sorry.
A bit correct.
Yeah.
You see, translation as a practice is a very ancient activity. I think it's as old as the existence of human being on this earth. But, as a practice, it continued throughout the centuries. But 70 years ago, people realized that there are problems, occurred due to the mistranslation, over-translations, under-translation, and so on and so forth. And that created political problems, peace-related issues. There were wars on that, and I would give you some examples after that. But in 1953, a federation called International Federation of Translators was established, and they decided to fix a day to commemorate the contribution of the translators throughout the history and so on and so forth. And they decided 30th September because this is the day of feast of Saint Jerome, who translated the Bible from.
Okay, and so now let's move on to Dr. Inamul Haq Ghazi. So tell us, now that we know the context of the importance of the day and the importance of interpretation and translation, they go hand in hand. Within Pakistan, where are we at in regards to interpreting and translating our works and literature?
As I said, translation as an academic field, its age is just 70 years. When people started, doing research in different, aspects of this phenomenon.
Right.
And interestingly, we always refer back to the European history. According to one study, the European Union would have been established in 1893 if a misunderstanding because of the translation between German and French would have not happened. It's a very interesting study. I'm quoting this. And then we have, First World War and Second World War, and then they also realized that there is something else other than, the cultural differences or the political agendas and so on and so forth. So they found out that there are problems in mistranslations. I quote one example. In 1946, 1945, when the Allied forces, asked the Japan to surrender, and the Japanese premier at that time, he was asked to comment on this demand, and he used a Japanese phrase and said "mako satsu," which was translated, which meant no comment, but it was translated not worthy of comment. You see, the not worthy of comment created a hue and cry among the Allied. Oh, how come? We have destroyed the whole Japan, and now still they are saying that, mistranslation. This is. What I want to say is that, translation is not a simple thing. You take the example of sign, the word sign in Punjabi, we say sign, a person who has no, interest in the worldly life or is, belongings and things and so on and so forth. But, we use this word in Sindh as well. But the sign is a higher status when you give someone respect. So there are susceptibilities in translation. We are using words, you know.
Okay, now, so this is very important because the International Interpretation Day is, it's linked with, it's for the interpreters and translators as well who work out there. So the people who are experts in this area of interpretation, like you said, the comment that was misinterpreted, and then it can lead to unrest within, even within the diplomatic and political world.
See, Dr. Saab is talking about the international languages. I just want to add to it, you know, we have in Pakistan 60 languages, big or small, whatever, and there are 6 big languages spoken by Pakistanis. I was just, you know, scanning the statistics available, or you know, the statistics problem in Pakistan.
I got them yesterday
the statistics
too,
issues is a big issue in Pakistan. But whatever was available, and I was really, you know, surprised to know that, you know, the Sindhi translation into Urdu or Balochi literary translation into Urdu and so on and so forth, or you know, the what we call local translations, but they are local languages. The translation among these languages, the situation is not good.
Yes,
and
this is what I wanted to
you know, we don't, and that is why we have this kind of, you know, alakai tassub, when people, you know, they think I don't understand you because I can't learn your language, you can't learn my language. So the bit mediation is through translation.
Okay.
But it's not happening.
Okay.
But the question that you asked, Dr. Saab, and I think you also referred it to me, the need here in Pakistan from the international point of view and the local, our basic needs as well there. But there is bigger than that. We need to think in terms of the academic matters. We need to think in terms of the training of the translators. Because without training and the advanced world, you know, they have brought a complete comprehensive policies for the translators. If I do a mistranslation of a text which goes to the court, and court take a wrong decision based on my mistranslation, you know, if it happened in Germany, they have laws.
Yeah.
We don't have anything, any policy or code of ethics for the translation. And prior to that, we need to recognize this as an academic field. Absolutely. HEC has a very great role in promoting that, and they are doing it.
Yes.
The government agencies and the parliament, they need to, you know, bring suitable laws for this purpose. You know.
Okay. Now you mentioned a very good point about the provincial languages as well, and the importance of the communication between people within their own country. Now, as you mentioned, we don't give too much weight on, you know, our own languages. You know, Urdu is also being sidelined, like you said. English. We ran out of time. If you 10 seconds, you got 5 seconds to say it. Yes.
Okay, just the academic front.
Quickly, very quickly.
In 3 universities are offering different program. Our university is, you know, heading towards the PhD program.
Excellent.
After offering BS translation, MS translation studies, short courses in 3 language pairs, and maybe after 1 or so, we would be offering PhD in translation studies.
Wonderful, and we will give you all the links on our website to your departments as well, so that if people want any information, they can get it. And it's very important to learn languages, especially provincials. Wonderful, and so we will give you all of that information on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of World This Morning, our Twitter page, World This Morning without a G, our Daily Motion and YouTube page, World This Morning, and the repeat is at 11:05 p.m. Have a wonderful weekend. But you know, if you are observing 9th and 10th of Muharram, please be safe. There are diversions and things like that, so have a good weekend, and I will see you bright and early on Monday morning.